because we are going to be talking about the ancient healing arts, meditation, and the art of acupuncture. And all of these, I know, all of these are ancient healing arts that have come from the East. A lot of them have come from the East. The majority of them have. This is my co-host, just with the mostest.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're back, Josie.
I know, I missed you.
I missed you too, but I know you had a death in the family.
Yeah, it was a beautiful homegoing celebration.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I was really happy that Lisa could come in and,
Yeah,
you know.
it was a great show. I watched it.
Did you? Well, thank you.
I enjoyed it.
It was
yeah.
a good show. Yeah, we really had a good show last week. Castine Overath was here with her, she's the guardian of the crystal skulls, and she was here, and we talked about a lot of different things last week. It was a good one. So, and this week I am so happy to have Ann Furness, who has been an acupuncturist in Richmond for many, many years. Talia Moser told me about you, and she is in the same office with Talia.
Oh, okay.
And Talia does the reflexology. Remember, she was on our show a couple weeks ago, and she does the reflexology. And I hope you're out there, Talia, watching us. If you're not, just catch us on Memorex. So I'm so glad that you could come, Ann.
Well, thanks for having me.
I am really glad that you're here. Acupuncture is something that it's not my field. You know, I've always been interested in it, and I had an opportunity at one time to take acupuncture up in Bethesda, but it just didn't turn out. Turn out for me. So, but I like acupuncture. It is very soothing.
Oh yes, yes.
I'm
overdue.
I am too. That's why I'm going to go see her. I'm way overdue. And it opens up a lot of energy cycles in your body, and a lot of meridians, which Ann will be talking about that. And she brought her little friend here. What's his name, Ann?
Richard.
Richard. Okay. Okay.
No nicknames.
No nicknames. Richard, like Cher, huh? Just one word. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Well, he's a real cutie patootie here. So she will be talking more about him and enlightening you about acupuncture. It really doesn't hurt. If you get a good acupuncturist, the needles go in and doesn't hurt.
You don't feel a thing?
You don't feel anything, and it really does relax. You might feel some warmth. Everybody feels different things. Some people feel tingling, and sometimes you feel different things every time you get it done.
But you don't feel pain.
No.
There's no pain.
No, there's no pain.
And people
There's
get
no
intimidated by the thought of being stuck, but you know, it's painless.
And if that really bothers you, and you want to try it, but you're afraid of needles, just close your eyes. You know, take that sense away.
And breathe and relax.
And breathe. Breathing is very important, and people have been breathing since the beginning of time. Since that's a really ancient healing art. But I'm breathing. People have to learn to breathe. It does take practice.
Yeah.
I have started, and talk about ancient healing arts, I have started the past couple weeks taking yoga. And I take yoga out over in the West Hampton area.
Okay.
And it's vinyasa yoga. And I'm not quite sure what vinyasa yoga is, but I try to do the best I can. And a lot of times I take the vinyasa yoga. It's called vinyasa flow. And it's like that's such a pretty way to talk about yoga, when sometimes, like a couple days ago, the gal was putting us sort of in a pretzel mode, and I'm thinking, I can't do that. That's on my bucket list. Totally on my bucket list.
Not feeling the flow, huh?
Really, to get into the flow, but that was definitely on my bucket list. And we are on Facebook Live, so if you have a comment, if you have a question, if you want to say hi Marilyn, hi Josie, hi Ann, you just want to send some emojis, please send the emojis so I know that there's a lot of people out there. I'd appreciate it, and a lot of viewers. I promise you, if you comment or have a question, I will get back with you probably tonight, because normally it takes me a while to unwind after the show. So,
just send the love.
That's right. Send the love, because we love you all. And that's one reason why I do Healthy Living with Marilyn, because I want people to be able to learn about different natural healing modalities. There's more than going to the medical doctors and getting a pill.
Yes.
There's a lot more than that. Now, sometimes you have to cross over. A couple months ago, I had to cross over because I fell. I sprained my left ankle. I don't really know how I did that either. How do you sprain your left ankle and fall on your right arm?
I can almost tell you that because I did that day before yesterday.
Oh, no.
Sprained the right ankle and hit the left arm.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you fall?
In the tub.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
Got out, couldn't walk, grabbed my oils. Yesterday was oils and ice cans. And soda cans that were freezing cold.
Really, my business partner Judy was with me, and she says, you felt like a football player. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, if that's like falling like a football player, I'm glad I never played football because I was in a lot of pain. But I did have to cross over into the medical world because I needed to get x-rays and I needed to get an MRI on my shoulder. But I'm not doing anything beyond that. I'm not doing physical therapy. I go to an energy healer. I'm using other colleagues of mine who are healers. And I'm a big homeopathic practitioner, so I do a lot of homeopathy on me. And I have found those really help. And homeopathy's been around a long time.
Yeah.
It hasn't been around as long as some of the healing modalities I want to talk to, like Reiki. Reiki's energy healing, and that originated in Japan. And just receiving Reiki, it's soothing and refreshing and balancing, and it's their energy with my energy. And when I had fallen and hurt my arm, I went to see somebody who called me. She needed Reiki right away. And my arm was hurting. It was like several days after I fell. So I went in, took care of her, and my arm was starting to feel better after the Reiki because it was her energy with my energy. And it took me a while to get through her energy because she was in a lot of pain. So I was probably there an hour and a half. But when I left, it's like, oh my God, I can almost move my arm. Whereas when I went over there, it's like, I can't move my arm, but I'll give it my best shot. So I think with Reiki, and personally, I have found through my own personal experience that it is a win-win situation with the person you're doing the Reiki on and the person who is doing the Reiki on you. So, you might feel tingling. Some people feel warmth. Some people feel cool. Some people feel a breeze going on. It all depends on what's going on with you. It all depends on the Reiki practitioner. It all depends on what's going on in that room that you're in. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects to Reiki as far as everything that's involved. Do you agree with that, Ann?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not isolation. It doesn't live within one being.
No.
The energy, it's the transfer. Transference is a bad word, but it is the connection of energy between two people, and that makes all the difference in the world.
And I was really amazed when I was doing my certification. I didn't think that I was going to feel anything in the very beginning. I thought, well, I might have to do this a couple of times and get to the master level. And it felt really light. I felt really light. I felt lifted, and then going back now through some of our sessions, I can really feel it, and especially when I'm working with someone else, it just gives me such a calm feeling when I'm doing it. And so now at home I can do it with my husband. He doesn't even know I'm doing it. If he's watching, he knows now.
Yeah,
Busted.
I used to do it on my son's dog, because he was, his name is Dude. So Donnie, if you're out there, I hope you and Ann are having a good time. His name is Dude. His name is Dude. He is part boxer and part bulldog, but he looks like a mini boxer. He's so really cute, but he is a beta dog. So he evidently before, because he was rescue, and evidently before that he had been emotionally abused and stuff, because if you put your hand up, he'll just cower, and he doesn't talk, he's mute. He barks at the garbage men if they see him, but that's about it. You never see him. You never hear him bark.
Wow.
Yeah, you never hear him bark. So, but I would do Reiki on him because he had some issues and stuff, and he still does. And so when I go out and see him, I do Reiki on him. And he's my dog, but he's in Long Beach, California, but he's still my dog.
See him soon.
I am, yes, yeah, I really am. So I'm looking forward to that. So, but receiving Reiki, it's just sometimes when I receive Reiki, even when I give it, it's like I breathe, you know, like you just breathe and just take a big sigh breath because it's just so soothing and calming. And it does open up the energy cycles, the chakras that we're going to be talking about soon in your system. There's 7 of them. There's 8. There's a whole bunch of them, and you even have them in the palms of your hands and in your feet. You have them in a lot of different places, but the main 7 ones are in the core of your body.
I love the color balancing.
Yes.
With it, and as I learned, red for me in my core area was really important, and I was like, that's interesting because I immediately went out and bought a lot of red lower things.
Well, there you go, because you want to stay grounded. You know, we all want to stay grounded because when we're not grounded, we can't be focused. And we really need to be focused. Another one of the ancient healing, and I think it's more of an exercise than a healing, but it is a healing art of sorts because it does keep you focused. It's Taoism, and it's the essence or substance of the universe. So you're connecting with the universe when you're doing these motions. And it's the flow of the yin and the yang, and the yin is female and the yang is masculine. And I know you'll be talking probably about more about that in acupuncture, because in acupuncture, which is also a very Eastern healing art, and that originated in China. Yeah. So a lot of these are Asian. They originate, well, the East has been around a lot longer than the United States.
Oh, yeah.
A whole lot longer. I mean, Reiki's been around for over 5,000 years. It is a very ancient healing modality, very ancient. And a lot of people over here are just learning about it. They don't know a whole lot about Reiki, and they don't know a whole lot about the fact that they have energy in their system.
Or the history.
Or the history of it, right. They don't know about chakras, you know, and chakras, like I said, are your energy cycles, and they rotate in circular motion. And when they're blocked, because I had one blocked last week, when they're blocked, you will feel it. Sometimes you get sick, sometimes you have pain. I had a blockage over here one day when I was doing yoga, and I went to my energy healer, and she unblocked it for me, and it turned out to be something that happened a long time ago, and it was my dad. My dad, and that was the reason why it was there, because I'm taking a meditation class, and we're talking about
a lot of repression.
We're talking about releasing trauma, and sometimes when you release trauma, you feel it in your body. You'll feel it in parts of your body that you never, like if you never had knee problems, you might have a sore knee. Or if you never have ankle problems, you might have a sore ankle or a sore wrist or a sore shoulder or whatever. So it manifests itself a lot of times in different areas when you're meditating. And meditating is something that really helps people stay focused. And I think the Taoism also, it talks about the yin and the yang and with the opposing forces, but keeping balance and staying balanced in your life and in your home and with your family.
That's a challenge.
No kidding. No kidding. I just want to stay balanced myself. You know, health-wise, I want to stay balanced. And I think when people come and see you, they might have balance problems, and I'm guessing that the acupuncture helps with that.
Well, it's interesting. People will often say, I feel out of balance, and I'm always clarifying. I'm sure I drive my patients nuts, because I will say, do you mean you get dizzy, you fall over? And they'll say, well, no. And then I'll say, what do you mean by being out of balance? And then they say, okay, I can't get organized, or I can't. And so people are using these plug-in words that do not mean at all the same thing from one person to another. And so part of my job is to really piece out, till it out, what actually do you mean? And then I often will catch people using language that is constricting, contracting, as opposed to expansive. So they will say, you know, oh, I'm such a klutz, or I'm, you know, I'm asthmatic. And I say, is that who you are? Or do you always have shortness? I was like, well, no. And I say, are you sure you want to identify yourself that way? You know, it's like, so the power of language, you know, think about all the fairy stories where, you know, open sesame, the magic word, the Rumpelstiltskin, whatever, that this is the power of the word. And I think that some people, their language really closes them down to possibility, and other ways of phrasing it, like, you know, is this hard, or are you just a beginner at it? And one sort of closes down and the other opens up possibilities. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Normally, when I'm out of balance, I'm literally out of balance. I mean,
You fall like a football player.
I fall like a football player. Yes, I do, Ann. I fall like a football player. My kids say, Mom, you're always falling. All the time you're falling. It's like, no, I'm not. But maybe sometimes when I'm around them, I am falling. I don't know. I try not to. But there are times when I am out of balance, and it's not
Metaphorical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm having problems with juggling everything, or, you know, whatever, or with the kids or anything. I'm literally out of balance. I can't keep my balance. Like, my ankles will roll under. I have to be very careful with that. So I have to be careful with what shoes I wear. Dance goes are not my friend.
Yeah.
Because my ankles will roll. And I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. It just happens. And I know everything happens for a reason, but I wish that I just would not constantly be rolling my ankles. So a lot of times when I'm with the kids, I will wear sneakers, because
you got to be ready for swift movement.
you have to be. And I've got a 9.5-month-old infant grandson that I watch, who is, he's a mile a minute. And if I let him get 10 feet in front of me, I'm in big trouble.
No.
So that doesn't work, you know.
You have to dress according to the activity.
That's right.
That's
right.
And the comfort. Or just get barefoot.
You know something? I tried the barefoot. Can't do that because of my ankle. And a couple of days ago when I was at yoga, they had us balancing on our left foot, and they had us bring our right leg up and touch our foot to the inside of, right above our knee. And I couldn't get that balance. I could get the right side when I put my right foot down. I could do that, but I couldn't do the left because my ankle is still a little wonky.
So you got to practice that when you're at home and when you're able to hold on to something.
And yeah, well, she said you can hold on to the wall if you want. It's like, the wall is my friend. I stand where I am. I normally go in the back. Because I feel more comfortable there. I'm in the corner. I have a wall. I have a window. I'm real close to the door if I get scared. You know.
Escape route.
That's an escape route. And then maybe the person who knows is the person that's right next to me.
Right.
And she was struggling like I was this week. And there was one where we had our leg up like that, and then we were bending over, and she said, now put your right ankle over your left arm. And I'm thinking, really? That is definitely on my bucket list, because there's no way I'll be able to do that.
I think I'll stay in my gentle yoga. My yoga for cancer patients.
But there was
gentle chair yoga.
There was one gal who, and the instructor were the ones who did it, and she lifted her left leg up, and she was really balancing on her elbows.
But she'd been doing it, I'm sure,
absolutely.
a long time. And
I mean,
the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah.
She's a whole lot younger than I am.
Yeah.
Right.
And the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah, so that's on my bucket list. So I'm still working on it, friends, but it'll come.
Practice makes perfect.
That's right. That's right. So anyhow, I am so excited to have Ann here. Ann, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. She and I were bantering back and forth on text, and I'm just really glad that you're here.
Well, thank you.
Really glad. And acupuncture is one. I'm a naturopath, but I don't deal with Chinese medicine and Eastern medicine. I find it absolutely fascinating, but I could only do so many modalities before my brain would just say, Marilyn, you just can't do one more thing, you know.
Well, you just get bad at a lot of things if
I
you
know,
try and do so.
I know. It's like multitasking for people who multitask.
Yeah.
What can you do? What one thing can you do if you're doing 10 things? Right? Now, normally women are good at multitasking because we have to. But I don't want to multitask with 10 different things. You know, like my go-to healing modality is homeopathy. That's my go-to. And Reiki. Those are my two go-tos. And I do herbs. I'm an herbologist, and, you know, I like herbology, but I really like homeopathy. And like you really like acupuncture.
Yep.
And you're also a nurse.
Yeah.
And you're also a black belt in
Aikido.
Aikido. Yeah, she's a black belt in Aikido. Yes, and she's an RN, so she knows the Western side of medicine and the Eastern side of medicine. Now, when you were an RN, where'd you work?
Mostly I worked in the ER down at MCV. That was
you?
the majority of my nursing career. And then I did, when I first got out of nursing school, with the cardiac thoracic surgery floor. And then I did home health, and then the rest of it was all ER. So
ER. ER is like being a fireman.
Yeah, that's a traumatic
You know,
place.
I mean,
Yes.
you
I did
can
some of my
be.
chaplaincy training there.
yes.
But when you work in the ER, you can be very quiet. And all of a sudden, you got to stop up and hop up to the.
I've never seen it quiet.
Well,
I have in certain ERs.
I must say, though, anybody who goes into an ER and says, "Oh, you guys are quiet," you'll watch what happens.
That's what happens.
No, they'll say, "Don't say that."
that.
Don't. It's like, you know, it's way worse than
Oh,
Friday
I
the
know.
13th. It's like a curse. So
I know,
never
I
say
know.
quiet. The Q word we
No.
call it in an ER. So.
Yeah. I never used to like to say, "Oh, my kids are doing well," because when that happens, I'm telling you, when
kiss
that
of death, right?
happens, something's going to happen. And I never say anymore, "My kids are doing well,"
Yeah.
because then something's going to happen. It jinxes you. It jinxes you. So tell us about acupuncture, and how did you get
Okay.
into acupuncture? Because you were in Western medicine, so
Yes.
what brought you to acupuncture?
Well, it was actually through Aikido.
Was it?
I was a nurse, and anybody who has ever worked in the Western medical system knows that it's a broken system. It is not healing. It is repair work at the best of. And I think, you know, emergency is probably the best use of Western medicine. It's like, okay,
Right.
you got a femur sticking out, you need that.
Yeah.
You don't need a Reiki. I mean, it's like,
You have to fix it.
you got to fix it. And it's fine. But I realized there were so many times that people would come in and I'd feel like, this is not what they need. This is not healing. This is not helpful. This is ignoring a huge part of what the problem is. And at the time I was training in Aikido, which is, Aikido means I, which is the blending, ki, which is Japanese for chi, right?
Which is
and,
energy.
And do, yes, chi is energy.
Energy.
And do, which is, or Tao, as in Taoism, which is the way. So it's the way of blending chi, or ki.
Energy.
Yes. And so as I started to train more in that and feeling the difference between when you started to get more adept at it and you realized, oh, when you're just muscled down, it was unpleasant, it was frustrating, it just felt, ugh. But when somebody actually connected with your energy and it was just like you just fell. And invariably I'd laugh. I mean, I'd hit the ground laughing because it was just, you just kind of flew into this weird, down you went. And so I had a knee injury, not from Aikido, and went to an acupuncturist at Charlottesville. And she did something, gave me treatment. The first one I didn't notice much. Second one, I was going down the stairs in her office, and all of a sudden I went, my knee doesn't hurt. And I got in my car, which was a stick shift. It was my left knee, so I'm, hitting the clutch going through Charlottesville. It's like, my knee doesn't hurt. So that was a Friday. I trained in Aikido that night. Saturday, Sunday, I was doing knee techniques. I was like testing it. Like, what can I get away with, you know? And it was like, it was just not hurting. It's amazing. I learned about the amnesia of pain. We forget. The reason why there's more than one child that people have is women forget about
well, I don't know if I forgot.
You know, like, I kind of forget about it. Otherwise, everybody would only be only children. But so between Friday and that Monday, I forgot. It was like I never had pain. It had been 9 months with a knee injury. Nine months of knee pain. And all of a sudden, I did some stupid stunt like I was 12 years old. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was just stupid. And I re-injured it. But I was like, in that amount of time, it was like it was gone. It was absolutely just,
instantaneous.
Yeah, it was just gone. But I realized that in the process of, you know, I'm going with this Western mindset, really. It's like, I've got a knee problem, fix the knee problem, right? And so I realized that, my equilibrium as far as my mood was more stable. I was sleeping better. I got along with people better. There was just this connection, this oneness that I felt. I didn't feel this us and them. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So that's when I realized there's way more, you know, healing as opposed to repairing, which is what we do in Western medicine. And so I started studying acupuncture and got my master's in acupuncture, and the rest is history.
Wow. How long did it take you to get your master's?
It was 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yep.
Wow. So tell us about Richard here.
Well, Richard is my friend here. He's got his fig leaf on just in case this is a family show.
Yeah, it is a family show, so thank you. I appreciate it. So he's dressed properly.
Yes.
You call him Adam.
This is it's a map. It's a road map, if you will, of all the meridians, which are like the pathways that the energy runs in, and the individual points. So I just brought him here so you could see that there's just a whole lot of points that Richard has on him.
But they're for different areas, right?
And they're for different, each point actually has what we call a spirit of the point. So if I'm trying to be elegant with a treatment, I want to do a point that will work for what is your constitution? How do you know, what is the lens through which you process the world? You know, the chair that you sit in. I want to address that. I want to talk to that, acknowledge who you are. I might also say, okay, she's struggling with, you know, with the ankle. The left ankle is a wobbly thing. Then there's also, okay, she tends to be harried and, you know, overthinks or whatever. So I'm looking at all of these things and I say, this point will address this. It helps to quiet the spirit. It helps to strengthen tendons. It helps to, and so if I've really done a good job, I could get away with it with one point. I think most people would feel cheated if I just put in one needle. But actually, the most elegant, I mean, in my tradition, the law of least action. You do the least points that you can do to get the whole
results
treatment.
that you want.
Yep.
So that's good. So if you want to go to somebody that doesn't do a whole lot of needles in you and you're a little bit
acupuncture is the way you want to go.
And might be the one. And Talia told me that you were the very first acupuncturist.
No, first female.
First female.
There were 2 guys in Richmond before me, and I was the first woman in Richmond.
Okay, because she said you were the first one. It's like, really? No, Anne was the first female. So when did you start?
In June of 2001.
Really? So acupuncture in Richmond has not been around very long.
No. And the guy that was, the 2 guys that were there, I don't think the one guy is practicing anymore. I don't know what happened, but Keith Bell is the other guy.
And Keith Bell's right. Yeah.
And he was only a year before I was, I think, so it wasn't like a long...
Acupuncture in this area where we live, which is in Virginia, in central Virginia, we live in the Richmond, Virginia area. For anybody who is looking and listening from other places of the world, other places in the United States, we are in the Eastern time zone. So if it's like 8:30 where we live, it's 5:30 in California. Okay. If you're in Hawaii, it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay. If you are in if you're in Chiang Mai, Thailand, where my friend Marty lives, it's tomorrow morning. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like 8:30 in the morning. So Marty, if you're watching, good morning. Good morning. So
where are you located?
I'm over on Hermitage Road, 4801 Hermitage Road, and
so that's near the.
It's right across from Bryant Park.
Right, yeah, she's right across
yeah.
from Bryant Park.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what's your phone number?
804-938-5668.
There, 804-938-5668.
You got it.
Oh, I got it right. Good.
Website?
So, what's your website? Oh, I know that.
It's
Go, you tell her.
ChiNurse.com, and Chi is spelled Q-I, no U in there, nurse, like doctornurse.com.
Yep.
So QI Nurse, ChiNurse.com.
And she has a nice website, so you might want to look at it. I was checking it out. It's really interesting.
Okay.
Really interesting. I find that I had a knee issue several years ago, and I could fix it so much with the powers that, with the modalities that I had. But my intuition said, you need acupuncture. You need to go to acupuncture. So I said, the only way I'm going to be able to open up the energy meridians in here is to go to an acupuncturist. So I did. And I went a couple times, and like you, I was fine after that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't go skiing anymore. I don't go snow skiing. I don't go water skiing. Skiing is, I used to, but that's, I don't want to have
That's another time in life.
Right.
That's right. And I look at it this way. It's like, I don't eat ice cream anymore, but I remember that I used to eat ice cream and how good it tasted. And sometimes if I think about ice cream, I'll think about how good it tasted. So I think about, if I'm thinking about skiing, I think about how nice it felt and how fun it was. But I also remember how I felt when I was done skiing and woke up the next day and felt like I'd been run over by a truck. Because you use muscles that you normally don't use in a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, and like with the keto.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people start, and it's like, this is real cool. Like when I started yoga. This is real cool. Okay.
The next day it's like, holy mother of God, what have I done?
And it was like, it wasn't really high impact or anything. I mean, it's slow. But
you don't generally move.
Yeah, and I was doing plank, yay me. You know, I mean, it was a short-lived plank, but I kept doing it because, you know, there's certain things that you have to do in yoga, and it was repeating and repeating. And then when I got up the next morning, it was, oh my goodness, what happened? You know, so you have to be careful. You have to be mindful of if you're taking a new program.
Honor your body.
Yes, honor your body. And just remember to drink plenty of water before and after. There you go. Drink plenty of water because it's so important. I can't stress hydration. And water's been around since way before the beginning of time. We are, 87% water? Something like that.
We're
honor your body.
We're part of the earth.
We are part of the earth.
That balance.
Honor your body. Stay grounded. How I stay grounded is I go to the beach. You know, that really helps me stay grounded. And
I want to know what she's got.
Oh, you want to know what I've got?
Yeah, what else you got?
Okay, I got show and tell. I got show and tell.
How about you show the needles?
So, the idea behind acupuncture is the Goldilocks principle, right? Not too hot, not too cold, not too hard, not too soft, not too, right? And the concept of yin, which was receptive, cool, damp, quiet, still, and yang, which was active, hot, bright, and dry. So you could have symbolized them like this, right? This is yin and yang. But the Chinese symbol for it is everybody's going to recognize this guy, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not static. It's always becoming the other, right? So yin is turning, so night turns into day, day turns into night, winter turns into summer, you know, and they're constantly changing. And you see that little dot here? There's always a kiss of yin in the middle of yang, and a kiss of yang in the middle of yin. So they and in Western we tend to think of opposites, good, bad. Right? And they talked about yin and yang not as opposites or opposing forces that would, you know, fight each other to the death, but rather as mutually dependent aspects of oneness. So you could not have, if the only temperature that existed was 70, there would be no words for hot or cold. They can't exist without each other. Tall cannot exist without short. Short cannot exist without tall.
Got a point, yeah.
And it's all relative. So if the three of us stood side by side, I think you're the tallest.
Okay.
Right? So you would be the maximum, and I don't know which one of us is shorter, but you know, it's like there would be a middle. So the middle and then the shortest. So relative to you, I'm short. Relative to her, I might be tall. So it's like, okay, so it's all of this balance. So the balance of yin and yang was one way to describe the oneness, right? And the other one, which is my tradition in acupuncture, is the 5 elements. So all of us have all 5 elements. It's like you're not yin or yang. You're both yin and yang. We have all 5 elements.
And what are they?
So, I'm sorry, I'm being directed by the cameraman here.
That's okay, you're good.
So, water here. Water is about stillness, listening. It's the liver, excuse me, kidney and bladder. Big surprise there. It opens into the ear. It has to do with hearing. The bones, so arthritis, knee stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Joint stuff.
Joint stuff, that's all in here. It has to do with the emotion of courage and fear, the interplay of courage and fear. And you can say, well, fear is bad. No, it isn't. Fear can keep you safe, right? It's like, I got a bad vibe, I crossed the street. You don't know how many catastrophes you've avoided because you were blessed with fear, right? So it's not good or bad. Excess or deficiency in either one of these things can be a problem. So people who are fearless, that's not healthy either. And you get the people that are constantly, you know, living on the you see these
on the edge.
YouTube videos of people like, it's like, oh my God, he's going to die, he's going to die, he's going to die. Don't let his mother see this video, she's going to go nuts, you know. So this is the mother of this, which is wood. So you think you water the plant. There was our plant back there. Water the plant. That yields the wood. Okay? So the wood is the liver and the gallbladder. And that has to do with the sinews, tendons, the movement of muscle. It also has to do with the smooth movement of blood and chi. And the emotion there is anger. So again, people think of anger, I think particularly women, tend to think anger is a bad thing. God can't do anger. Anger's bad. It's like, no, anger is a recognition that something is not right. There's an injustice, perhaps, that needs to be rectified. And anger can give us the chi to sort of stand up and stand up for ourselves or stand up for somebody else. Now, can anger be toxic? Absolutely. Can it go too far?
Yep.
On the other hand, it's possible to have too little.
Right.
Where people are abused and they never stand up for themselves. It's like, why don't they leave? Why do they keep, you know? So then the wood is the mother of fire, right? You feed the fire with the wood, right? And fire is, fire has 2 sides. So it's got the heart and the small intestine. And then it also has the pericardium, or the heart protector, and what's called the sanjiao. We have no equivalent to that. Oh, we're wrapping up. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
And that has to do with joy. Or lack of joy. So joy can be, joy's good, right?
So joy, that is
this fire.
heart.
That's fire.
Fire.
Both sides.
Heart.
The emotion, well, it's both. The emotion of fire in both sides of that wall is joy. and joy sounds lovely, but if you've ever been around somebody in a manic state where they're just giggling constantly, that's not necessarily good either, right?
No, you got a point.
So, and then that feeds earth. Earth is about pensiveness, thinking, which can be too much, right? And sympathy. We can overdo sympathy too.
Yes,
you know,
we can.
We don't allow anybody to stand on their feet because we're going to take care of them, this kind of stuff.
Keep enabling.
And that is the spleen stomach over here, and then the mother of metal, which is the lung and large intestine, which I think this particular pair is really interesting because the lung deals with the absolute purity of essence. You just, it's the most,
and that's
it's
why
the most
it's
clean, it's the breath, right? It's
It's
the
the
cleanest
breath.
thing we take in, and it deals with the large intestine,
Wow.
right? So
Yes.
it is both, it's the absolute pure and the absolute crap. And what often happens when this element is out of balance is people will tend to sort of divide things up as good, bad, pure, perfect, or crap. And so that's a sign that that's out of balance. One of the ways it can be out of balance. And metal is the mother of water. So all of these sort of feed each other and they control each other. So if you have fire out of balance, you might need to address water to cool it down. You might need to treat up here to calm this down. So, you know, I might need to treat on the element if it's weak. I might need to treat the mother to sort of tonify it, or I might need to quiet it down by treating the grandmother, the one that's across from it.
Right.
Okay? I love it. So.
I love it.
I love this. Yeah.
It is so interesting. Do you teach classes? Really?
No.
Do you? No.
Really? That is so interesting.
So.
I've never had it explained like that before.
Neither have I.
I knew the 5 elements, but
Yeah.
I never had it.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful,
And I could actually
beautiful.
relate when you were talking about certain areas. It's like, that's me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we, you know, oftentimes our element is our greatest strength and our greatest weakness.
Right.
So it's the front of the hand, back of the hand. We might have this thing, I'm really organized, I get things done, blah, 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 but anybody who wants to do it their way, get the hell out of
Yeah.
it. You're driving me nuts.
Right.
So that, you know, it's like we can be like ruthless if somebody wants to do it their way and not our way, you know, and so, or we can be, you know, that connection, but we never disconnect. We can't be alone. That would be, you know, front of the hand, back of the hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have aspects of great strength in an element and some vulnerability in that element.
So you bring all of this together with the different points for acupuncture in really, that really kind of amazes me. And I was like, I need to come. Because just to think about that and to have those type of, that kind of mindset and skill to pull it all together to bring comfort to the body. I won't use the H
Well, and
word.
it's not, I see it as an ecology too.
Yeah.
Because I do not treat this, you know, if I treat this person gets better. What are the spirals around that person that benefit from the and if this person is struggling with this person, how does that show up and how can they be more effective at work if they change in this perhaps there, and so I don't see
It's
it
not
as
in a
being,
vacuum.
No, it's absolutely can never be.
So it is a continuing healing.
Yes.
Because there are other people around that person,
It's a
which
universal
might,
healing.
Yeah.
and to connect with the source, which is really important. And I'm going to go see her next week, and I'm really excited.
So do you have your needles nearby? Because I think people would love to see what they look like.
Okay.
Michael, can you
He did a close up of that box.
can you
wanted me
get
to
that
come up?
box for a minute? So
sorry. Yeah, what you're seeing in that box, if you want to hold it by the camera so they can see, I don't know how you want to do this. There are the big thick needles with the blue and green tops. Those are like what you'd get an IM shot, I mean an intramuscular shot, or have blood drawn. You see how thick those guys are? They're hollow, so blood or medicine will go through them. And if you turn
here,
that,
you want me to hold it, Michael?
yeah, if you turn that and shake it.
Here you go.
You see, the big long needles will, there you go. She's
Watch
attached
it.
though, don't forget the mic there.
Whoops.
These needles will wiggle the acupuncture because
Yeah.
they're so fine.
Right.
They're solids because nothing has to go through them. And then inside this guy, there's a insulin syringe with an insulin needle, which are teeny tiny things, and you can see there's an acupuncture needle going inside the hole of the needle.
So when do you
Of the
use
lumen.
that?
Insulin? Nothing.
Yeah,
It was just for.
When do you, oh, that's just the
There's
example.
just to give
Gotcha.
examples.
Okay.
So
different needles.
back when I was working, I
Okay.
stole these for for demo purposes.
Okay.
No, these are So
Okay.
that's all that is. It's just to compare. So when people are afraid of needles, they're much bigger. I mean, they're like
Gotcha.
horse pills versus
Right.
little tiny things. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And what I do when I go into see an acupuncturist is I put myself in a meditative state. So I am like here, but I'm not here. I go into a different realm.
Right.
And normally what I do is I just meditate so I can stay focused and breathe. And that helps me open up the energy cycles in my body. Because what I do is I put all my trust and attention into what they're doing, because they can do their thing while I'm doing my thing, and I just close my eyes.
Yeah.
'Cause I think sometimes when you're going to do something different like energy healing or something like that, it's really important to take that sense away so it can keep you focused. And that's what I normally
Yeah, we
do.
tend to be very sight dominant, so
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It does
So
open
if you
up.
take
That's right.
if you take sight away, and I used to do that with my clients when they would come in. If you take the sight away, it takes that sense. It takes that sense away, and then
fine tunes the other senses.
but it does. You know, your smell might be better, your hearing might be better, your taste might be better, your feeling might be better. You know, feeling it with your hands. You might be more intense with some of the things that are happening to you, but it's not something that's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, you made the comment that needles don't hurt. From time to time, you'll get one that goes, ooh, I felt that one, but it's very short-lived, and it's nothing like getting
really
a
not a
shot where it's,
pain.
where it's
Yeah.
like burning medicine and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. Nothing
That's
like that.
normally when
like a little
you've got a
prick from a-
blockage.
Yeah, and
That's what I have found. when
yeah,
that's happened to
sometimes
me.
you'll and people will ask me, why does it, why did I feel it more on the left and I didn't feel it on the right? I said, because I think it opened it on the left, and
That's
then by
right.
the time I hit the right, it was already done. It didn't need to.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I suggest go see Ann. What's your phone number again, Ann? 804.
938-5668.
Yeah, give her a call. Look at her website, which is qinurse.com,
And make an appointment.
and make an appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to her on the phone. Look at her stuff. It's really interesting. She's been around for a while. She's been here for 16 years.
Yep, 16
Since
years.
2001, she is the very first woman acupuncturist
In the
in
city of
our
Richmond.
area. In our area, which is just way cool, and I was really, thank you so much
All
for
right,
coming.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it. There's a couple other things I want to talk about. I am on the cover, Michael, if you could get a close-up of that. I'm on the cover of Real Life, Real Faith, Journey to Wellness. I've written an article in there. I'm really excited about it. It comes out in a couple days, so I'm going to get some copies. If you want a copy of it, just let me know, and I'll figure out how to get you a copy.
So is that on newsstands, or where do people find it? other than
I
contacting
haven't
you?
gotten that far yet.
Okay.
I think you have to get it online, but I will let everybody know.
Okay. Cool.
I'll let everybody know. And they asked me a bunch of questions, and I answered them, and I'm real excited about it. And I can't believe I'm on the cover, but I'm on the cover.
There you
So
go.
how cool is that? So, and
Cover girl.
yeah, I'm the cover girl. And because we got to go fast because we're getting close to the end. I wanted to show you Creating the Amazing You, which is our Judy's and my retreat that we're having in the fall, October 13th. Yes, and it's Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, you
Another
you got a thing with the 13th.
I know. Well, you know, like I said, I grew up in a house and it was 13. The number of our house was 13.
There you go.
So 13 is my lucky number. It might not be a lot of other people's lucky number. My aunt was born on August 13th, and it was a Friday when she was born.
There you go.
So, I mean, 13 for me is a real lucky number. But anyhow, Judy and I are having Creating the Amazing You. So if you are interested in coming to our retreat, it's going to be a wonderful transformational retreat to help people, not just women, to help people transform into the beautiful people that they might not have thought they were.
And where and when is that?
It is October 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a Friday night, all day Saturday and Sunday. It's at the Hyatt Place up at Short Pump Mall.
Oh, okay.
And so go on my website, Creating the Amazing You. The information's there. If you have any questions, give me a call. Don't hesitate to call me. If you call me and I don't recognize your phone number, please leave a message, because I won't call you back unless you leave a message.
And what's your phone number, Marilyn?
My phone number is 804-350-0034. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I've written a chapter in a book.
All right.
And that's me right there in the center there. And the book is called Yes You Can, Go for Achieving Your Dreams. And doing this TV show has been really one of the things that I never thought I would do in my entire life. But I decided that it was time to come out of retirement, come out of sabbatical, and do something to show people that there are other ways to heal naturally. And that is my goal. And Josie, we need to talk about your thing for a minute. Your Josie Inspiration.
So Josie's Inspiration is my weekly blog talk radio show, blogtalkradio.com/JOSI. And Josie's Inspiration, like you, I started a while back in 2008. Did it from 2008 to 2011. Stopped to be Gma, and decided it was time for me to go back to being Josie. And so it's been really great. I'm looking forward to getting Marilyn scheduled this past week. I actually had my cousin. It was right after the funeral, and we talked about legacy and the roles that we've played in carrying forth the legacy of our families and taking on the role of preparing funerals. Because we've been doing this since we were young. We were kind of, we followed and did it with our elders, and then as they passed on, we assumed the responsibility.
Wow.
And now we do obituaries for all of our family members, gather information, put the whole programs together, and it's a joy in doing that because we learn so much, and so the history comes out.
So how can people get in touch with you, Jose?
You can find me at 804-334-1944, which is my cell phone. Or Josie Hopkins, Josi Hopkins.com. Or you can check out our blog talk on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, blogtalkradio.com/Josie.
Josi. What does Josie mean?
Journey of a Spirit Inspired.
That's right.
Oh, so it's
Josie.
not Josephine, it's...
Josephine is my name.
It was, okay. It's
Josephine
both.
is my name. My mom called me Josie, Josie, and I just adopted Josi as just what's unique to me.
Yeah, cool.
Because she's unique. We're all unique.
Absolutely.
We're all unique in our own ways. And I've learned so much about the earth and the water, the wood, the earth. What's the yellow one?
Metal. Oh,
The metal.
Earth is yellow.
Yellow.
Metal, water, wood, fire,
Fire.
earth, metal.
Water,
Yeah.
wood, fire, earth, metal. Can you hold that up again? Michael wants to see that again. You happy, Michael? That's a good one?
Oh, okay. Water, wood, fire, earth, metal.
And this is
Yin and yang.
yin and
Well,
yang. Now, yin is the female, and yang is the male. And what are they again? What do they? Yin is what? It's
Yin is wet,
Right.
cool, dark, receptive, quiet, and yang is active, hot, light, male. What other? Yeah.
and that when we are both, we have balance.
Yep. Can't go with one or the other.
No.
You have to have them both.
You have to have both. So if you people all think that you're just female, no, you're not. You have male tendencies too. We all have male tendencies. We all have female tendencies. If you guys out there think that you're just all male, you might be just all male, but you got female tendencies too.
You're in denial.
You know, you really do.
And again, that we're joking, but that, you know, you guys with that attitude of good, bad. It's not.
Right.
We actually both. We need each other.
Yes.
We need that.
Yes.
Imagine if there was a world that only had all of one.
Yep.
How
That
boring.
would be pretty boring.
How boring.
I saw that one time on Star Trek just to get off.
Yes. Are you a
I saw
Trekkie?
that. Yes, I'm
You're
a Trekkie.
Are we done with my?
Yeah,
There we go.
I love that though. I love that. So, yeah, I really wasn't, you know, really joking about it because I think it's really important for people to realize they need to find the balance in their life. And it's really important to find the balance in your life, whether meditation, yoga, getting help with acupuncture. Now, there's a lot of things I can do to help my shoulder, and I am doing really good, Josie, because you saw me when I first did it, and I still did my TV show. You know, I couldn't move my arm much, but I still did it. You know, like that. I was determined to make it better.
Yeah.
And I said to my energy healer this week, she said, well, how long are you healed yet? It's like, no, it might take a while. She says, don't think about that, Marilyn. Just keep working. Don't think that it might take 6 months. Just keep working at
Don't put a
it.
time
Just
limit
keep.
on
Don't
it.
put a time limit on it. Just keep working with it.
Claim
Working
it
with
is healed.
And
Well, and don't even
before-
see it as a problem.
No.
No.
Yeah, so let that go. It's like
It's not really a problem anymore
Because you have an
because
arm.
I have an
You still
arm
have
and I
use
can
movement. You
move
still
it.
have usage.
And I can still do yoga. Some of
Yeah.
those things are on my bucket list, but I'm just not a contortionist. But I do the best I can, you know, and I'm asking everybody out there to do the best you can. And really, my goal is to help you all change your life today. And I'm so glad that everybody was here. I'm so happy, Anne, that you came.
Oh, thank
I
you.
learned so much about acupuncture and the meridians and the 5 elements and the yin and yang
And how it balances out.
and how
I'm gonna
you
really-
need to have balance.
Yeah.
Balance is so important. You know, check with your source up here.
Yes.
Balance is so important. We all have a source. All of us. You might not believe in anything, but you really got a source. You really do. You know, it's there. Tap into it. Find a way. Whatever modality you want to try, find a way. And next week we'll talk more about healing modalities. Josie's not going to be with us
I'm
next
going to be in
week.
Texas.
She's going to be in Texas.
Yes.
But Rita is going to be with us, Rita McCullough, and she's going to have her gals from Boomers Connection. We're going to be talking about boomers because we are all boomers, all of us. And if you're not a boomer, eventually I guarantee you, you'll be a boomer.
You can start watching to learn what to do.
That's right.
How much fun we have.
How much fun we have as
Yeah.
being boomers, really. So they're going to be on next week. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm going to miss being with you, but I'm going to be at our our Damsel conference and
Yes.
getting all kinds of new stuff that I'll bring back and show on a future
Oh, that'll
show.
be good. That'll be
Yeah.
good. I love the show and tell.
Yeah.
So bring your show and tell.
All right.
So I want to thank everybody for coming, and we cheer every week. Thank you very
Cheers.
much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you've got this, and we will see you next week and change your life today.